UFC Fight Night. My camera just shook there. UFC Fight Night. Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman is going to be taking place at the weekend. We are back with another full card breakdown. We got the Young LA compression shop. It does look absolutely skin tight, and let me tell you one thing, it fucking feels like it. But we're looking fucking wham, baby. Let's go. And we're gonna break this whole card. I have been seriously looking forward to this main event for quite a long time. Okay, Buckley is one of the rising prospects in the division. Usman is literally the definition of one of the old guards. So we'll start from the very start. You know how this whole thing works. Rapid fire predictions up until the main event, and I'm going to be starting with the very first one. Not up until the main event, up until it's a fight that people actually care about. So the first one, we have Jamie Lynn Huth versus Vanessa DePolis. Again, man, like what is, these fights are so ass. Okay, Jamie Lynn Horde is going to get this one done 100%. She's a massive favorite in this fight. She's definitely got just more attributes to get this one done. It'll probably be like a second round submission, I'm gonna guess. Do not lock any of that in. Do not lock any massive favorites. Don't lock in, okay? Because they're never just worth your time, okay? But I'm gonna go with her on that one. And again, it's kind of a shit one to start the fucking prelims with. But we actually have a bit of a banger here. We have Phil Rowe versus Angelosa. Phil Rowe's been kind of hot and cold in the UFC. He hasn't really kind of knocked on. I'm gonna get his Tapology up here real quick. I've seen him at like 20 years a good bit, to be fair. But he never really kind of plowed on from fucking any of the hype I ever saw him. Like I remember, he used to post like funny memes on his Instagram, and that was kind of like the extent I used to see him for. But Phil Rowe is coming off a nice fucking few losses here. He hasn't won a fight since 2022, end of 2022, against Nico Price, which was a good win, but he just, he's lost to like Neil Magny, he's lost to like Jake Matthews, he lost to Craig Jones in a grappling match, which there's no fucking shame in that, to be fair. But I feel like Phil Rowe might get this one done, to be honest with you. It's one of those fights I wouldn't bet on, but he could get it done. I feel like he's got decent enough striking, and I feel like he's quite rangy, and Angelosa is coming off a nice loss to Bonfim. I feel like the Bonfim brothers are just kind of everywhere. Like, he beat Reese McKee, I think, in France, like 2 years ago. But he did fuck all as well, do you know what I mean? Both these guys kind of did fucking jack shit with their career, but I'll go Philip Rowe on this one via decision. It's quite a no fight, to be honest with you, but Ricky Simon versus Cameron Smotherman. I like to call this dude Smotherman. Ricky Simon really kind of like is really hot and cold in this division. I've been watching Smotherman since he was on the Contender Series. He didn't get in the first time, which I was like, I kind of thought he obviously he lost, but I kind of thought I saw the potential in this kid. I saw the fucking potential in this kid. And Ricky Simon's 9-5 in the UFC. He had fights against like Charles Jourdain. I really kind of like became a fan of Ricky Simon when he went on a bit of a streak, beating like Jack Shore and all. But then he lost to like Song Yadong, Mario Batista, Vinicius Oliveira, and he just never kicked on. Ricky Simon's definition of like, this is the perfect fight for Smotherman to get into the kind of top 15, because Ricky Simon does that, okay? Now, Smotherman is coming off a loss to Sherry City, I think. He beat Jake Hadley as well, which Jake Hadley's a fucking good win, man. Jake Hadley's a good win, but I ain't gonna lie, yeah. I kind of think Ricky Simon's going to be way too much for him in this fight. I'm picking Ricky Simon to get this one done via decision, to be honest with you. Like, Simon's not great, but Simon's got way more experience than Smotherman. And I don't really see him getting this one done, Smotherman. As much as I like him, it just doesn't have the well-roundedness. Ricky Simon hits hard, okay? Ricky Simon hits hard for the bantamweight division. Smotherman's definitely got good kind of movement, but he's got the height advantage as well on this one, but I'm going to be going with Ricky Simon on this one. I don't think it's a bold statement, to be fair, but yeah, I'll go Ricky Simon via second round TKO. Next up, we have Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. Cody Durden's kind of one of those people I feel like fighting on every single UFC card. Am I doing what kind of feels that? The bookies have this down to kind of like the wire, but I'll probably go with Cody Durden on this one. Like, he's got good enough striking, and I feel like his grappling's kind of bang average. I'm just going to get his Topology up here real quick. And he's kind of one of those people that's just always going to be in like the bottom end of the flyweight rankings. I don't even know if Cody Durden is ranked, but he's got decent enough speed in his hands. He's coming off a loss to Joshua Van, who's now fighting Brandon Royval, which is a good one. I'll probably make a video on that like next week or something like that. I saw Justin Tafa is on the main event. Not the main event, fuck me. Main card of UFC, whatever it is. The Topuria versus Oliveira card, 317 or something like that, 318. That is absolute fucking insanity, bro. Absolute insanity that Justin Tafa is on a main card, period. Okay? Fucking period. But where was I? Yeah, so he's coming up, lost Joshua Van, Bruno Silva. He's picked up a win against like Matt Schnell, but Matt Schnell's so beatable, bro. Matt Schnell is so fucking beatable in that division, and he's got good. I wouldn't even say he's got good wins. Like, he's fought the best of the division, but kind of just fell short. Like, he's fought the Royvals and stuff like that. Jose Okocha, I don't know much about this cat. Like, I'm not going to sit here and chat shit. I watched a good bit of Cody Brunnan, but I don't know much about this guy. Is it Jose Okocha? I'm going to say Jose Okocha. He's coming off a loss to Lachlan Kavanagh, which is actually like, I have been watching Lachlan Kavanagh since his amateur days in the Cage Warriors. Hand on heart, swear to God, swear on everything. I have literally been watching him for fucking ages, okay? But I feel like you're coming off a loss, your confidence probably is going to be debate, and Cody Durden's definitely been kind of like war-proven in the division. So I'm going to be going with Cody Durden via decision on that one, okay? Next up, we have Chris Moutinho versus Malcolm Wellmaker. Wow. Wow. Chris Moutinho back in the UFC. Okay, this dude got so much hype from getting the fucking shit kicked out of him from Sean O'Malley. That was not a competitive fight. Like, that was one of the worst beats. I remember watching that live. It was on the Conor card, and it was just like, Jesus, man. When is this dude, like, to be fair to him, you gotta give him credit, because back then we were all saying, like, oh my God, Sean O'Malley couldn't even finish this fucking dude. And how was he going to beat, like, because he fought Pedro Munoz after that, but he was going to be coming up against, like, the Peter Yans and stuff like that, and we were all just like, he couldn't even finish Chris Moutinho. How was he going to finish fucking anyone else? But Wellmaker's coming off a nice first round finish against Cameron Simon. I picked Cameron Simon to beat him in that fight as well. That wasn't a great prediction now, to be honest with you, but listen, it's no secret who's going to win this fight. Wellmaker's going to fucking blast him. I won't even say he'll chin him, because Chris Moutinho's chin's unbelievable. I feel like he'll just beat him, like, if I'll be completely honest with you. Chris Moutinho's chin is class. He's an absolute dog, but I'm going Wellmaker via first round stoppage on that one. Next up, we have Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. I think I just clicked it. Is coming out of the fucking... Why is not working? There we go. Michael Chiesa is coming out of the fucking commentary box for this one. I actually like Michael Chiesa, but he's really past it in his career. He's really past it. I remember watching, like, fucking Vicente Luque choke the fuck out of this guy on the Cyril Gane versus Derek Lewis card. And I remember just thinking in my head, I was like, why are you doing that? Because Michael Chiesa's got some seriously good jiu-jitsu skills. But, you know, he's not really done anything. Like, he's coming off I think it's 2 wins against Max Griffin and, like, Tony Ferguson or some shit like that. But he's coming off some losses as well. You know, you lose to, like, Vicente Luque, like I said, and then you lose to, like, Sean Brady, and then you even lost to Kevin Holland, actually. He got finished by Kevin Holland, which is just a fucking terrible look. And for Chiesa, I feel like he probably will get this one done. Court McGee's done fucking nothing in his career. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I won't even get into the rant I went in one of my last videos about people giving me shit for, like, oh, you're not a real fighter in the comments saying shit like that. He hasn't done anything in his career, okay? The Tapology polls have Michael Chiesa 95% chance to win this fight. I feel like Chiesa's going to get this one done via submission. Like I said, he has good jiu-jitsu skills. I feel like he's decent enough grappling. He's going to be able to get the fight down. Court McGee I have not seen it from Court McGee in this fight to really pick him in this fight. We know what we're getting with Mike Chiesa. Like, who remembers when he fought fucking Kevin Lee? Do you remember when he fought Kevin Lee? I think that was at lightweight. The beef those lads had was actually fucking class. We need some more of that shit in our fucking UFC, okay? But Michael Chiesa, he'll get this one done. I'm going to go with Michael Chiesa first round submission on that one. Next up, Paul Clegg versus Rodolfo Balato. I think Paul Craig is so hit and miss, okay? We all know Paul Craig's game plan is just go in there and throw up a fucking massive triangle, okay? But I won't lie, I don't really see it from Paul Craig in this stage of his career. He went on a really nice run there for a while, back in like 2022. You know when the world started opening up again after COVID. That's when Paul Craig had his real like good shit. But he's on a 3-fight loss streak here. Brendan Allen, Barao, Bo Nickel. He's got wins against Adrian Munoz, but then he lost to Johnny Walker as well in the first round. I don't see it from Paul Craig, especially not in this stage of career. Now, this fight was actually scheduled before, and I did not pick Paul Craig in that fight, and I'm not going to pick Paul Craig in that fight again. You know, Balaho's coming off, I think it's he's coming off 1 win in the UFC, and he's coming from the Contender Series as well. He had like that, you know, decision draw against Jimmy Crute. I always just remember Jimmy Crute as that guy with, you know, the leg. Remember he had like a gammy leg in like what fight was it? In the Anthony Smith fight, that was it. He had like a gammy leg in that fight, and forever since then I've just looked at Jimmy Crute and been like, that's this. You have that picture in your head of Jimmy Crute of just like hobbling around on one leg. Bit of a fucking stud though, Jimmy Crute. But I'm gonna go with Paul Craig getting finished in the second round, maybe even the first round. To be honest with you, he's a dog. He comes to fight, but it ain't gonna be much here. Next up, we have a massive favorite here. We have Alonzo Mainfield versus Omar C. I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've ever seen this guy. I haven't seen him fight before. He's French. He's undefeated. Are we getting another Cyril Gane here? I highly doubt it. There, he's a light heavyweight, so I've seen, you know, Mainfield a good few times. He's decent enough. He's quite big for the division, but you can't really say when the bookies have someone who's undefeated and he's like a minus 1100 favorite. You know, unless it's Peyton Talbot, then we have to go with what the bookies say. That Peyton Talbot fight, man. Is it me or is it just like if I see an undefeated fighter, I automatically think they're gonna win? Am I the only one that's like that? Like, even if the bookies are like massively favored against a guy who might have like 19-6, but the guy's like 8-0, you're just thinking in your head, okay, this guy's been fast-tracked here. He must be fucking class. He's fighting this guy, you know, 2 fights into the UFC. He must be fucking legit. But they're always just fucking shit. Not always, sorry. But a lot of undefeated fighters just like, I don't know. I love seeing an undefeated record, though. Like, I love seeing an undefeated record, I must say. It makes it just, like, way cooler. And he's got a massive fucking 6'4". Fucking hell. 6'4". This dude is. And he's a light heavyweight. Jeebers, weepers, me. Fucking, I'm gonna go with him via first round TKO on that one. First round submission. Whatever you're fucking feeling on that one. This is actually a fucking... Oh, we have big Cody Garbrandt coming up. So, in this one, we have Cody Brundage versus Mansour Abdul Makalik. Again with the undefeated, and I said 8-0, and look, he's a minus 800 favorite. He's a minus 800 favorite. Why do I even need to break this card down? Okay? Why do I even need to wait? What's this good? Win by... Oh, that's even sicker. He's going to win by TKO. 88% people think he's going to win by TKO. Or he's won 88% of fights by TKO. So no one's... Yeah, it must be. Well, let me check this one, actually. I'm only after realizing this from the UFC. Hold on, let me see if it's 100% Cody Garbrandt to get KO'd. Then I know it's legit. Edmund Shabazi. Wait. I'm only after realizing this. Oh, so wait. So, okay. Yeah, no, definitely. Cody Garbrandt's never got a submission in his life, so that's what that is. Well, he's going to get that one done via first round TKO on this one. Cody Brundage is fucking shit. I've seen a few highlights of Mansour, but honestly, I feel like I said, when you see an 8-0 fighter, yeah, you see an 8-0 fighter, you see him a minus 800 favorite. You might never have seen the guy fight in his entire life, but you're going to be picking him. You're just going to bet on him because you're thinking he's undefeated. Bookies have him a serious favor. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean they haven't seen it. So that's honestly my mindset with those kind of fights. Like, I just think he'll get this one done. You know, probably in the first round TKO. You know, I'm not basing that off the stats or anything. But yeah, we'll go with that one. We'll go with that one. For we'll go round 1 TKO on it. Cody Brundage just kind of fell off when he fought Bo Nickel, to be honest with you as well. We are frozen. Never mind, I still didn't have my fucking thing on the screen. Cody Garbrandt versus Ranu Bausa. Fuck, man. fuck, man. I always want to bet on Cody Garbrandt. I always want to bet on Cody Garbrandt because I really like Cody Garbrandt. Okay, I really like Cody Garbrandt, but he just doesn't deliver the goods anymore. As sad as that is to say, Cody Garbrandt is just not an elite fighter anymore. Like, you had your really unbelievable run when you beat Dominic Cruz. That was kind of where your run and when your run started against Dominic Cruz and ended against Dominic Cruz, okay? We all look back and say, I feel like it's a bit like McGregor. We're all thinking, oh, if the old McGregor shows up, he might win. But now it's like, oh, well, if the Cruz Cody shows up, then he's definitely going to win. And I'm just like, man, we haven't seen the Cruz Cody since Cruz. Okay, don't give me that Rafael Asensio KO. Put on Dominic Cruz was one of the best performances, if not the best performance in a championship fight history. Probably McGregor versus Alvarez is probably the best one to this day. But man, that's up there. That is up there. And you have to think of the level of competition that Cody Garbrandt was facing that night. The prime Dominic Cruz, who just had the best movement we have ever seen in the UFC. I still think Dominic Cruz's movement's the best movement in the UFC history. It was insane. And Dominic Cruz was in like the GOAT conversation. There's this big kind of talk now of the GOAT of bantamweight. I honestly think it's Dominic Cruz for skill, but it's Merab for resume. Because, like, you know, Dominic Cruz is like, you know, TJ Dillashaw, Mighty Mouse, Faber, things like that. But, man, you cannot deny Merab's resume. You cannot deny Merab's resume. But I also look at the way Merab is winning. You know what I mean? People say, oh, he beat Jose Aldo, he beat Peter Yan. Man, if you just look at the way he was kind of winning, people absolutely hated Merab when he fought Peter Yan. People hated the way Merab won that fight. But you're still going to... You definitely sat at home, exactly like me, complaining the way Merab won that fight. But you're still going to say it's an incredible win. It was an incredible win. But the way he won was fucking wank. Okay? It was shit. Okay? He got a nice, you know, submission against O'Malley. I will never, ever forgive Merab for what he did to Jose Aldo. I won't do it. You held him up against the cage and you snitched on his retirement. All these phonies might forget about that, but not me. No. Mario Batista was not the one who started this. Merab was. Go do your fucking homework. And he snitched on his retirement. He said Jose Aldo told me not to tell everyone that he's retiring and shit like that. And he went in the press and just announced it. And then you destroy my boy Peter Yan? I can't let that slide. But anyway, I'm going Dominic Cruz skill-wise, Merab Dvalishvili, you know, resume-wise. But CG, Cody Garbrandt, man. But there was time where he was undefeated. TJ Dillashaw just ended his career. Man. It was so fucking sad. And I'm gonna get his topology up here real quick, but he got like a nice KO against like Rafael Asensio, which isn't exactly a bad win at all. Asensio beat TJ Dillashaw. Do you know what I mean? So you have to think about it like that. Like, the dude was an absolute fucking stud, but you lose to like Figueiredo and shit like that. You know, you have a few cancelled bites against Miles Johnson, and for some reason he was about to fight Miles Johnson. But coolly beat Trevin Johns, Brian Kelleher. You know, they're all good wins, but I feel like we're coming against Ronald Broulos. He's not exactly on amazing form either. Like, cool, he beat Peyton Talbot, but we need to relax ourselves here. Peyton Talbot was, you know, I wouldn't say rushed, because it's not like he got the Reign of the Ritter treatment against Bo Nickel. I actually picked the Ritter to finish Bo Nickel as well. I just wanted to come out. I just wanted to put that out there. Was it be a submission? Maybe. But I still picked Reign of the Ritter to beat Bo Nickel. And finish Bo Nickel if we're going to take it there. But still, we'll go back to Cody Garbrandt here. So, he beat Peyton Talbot. He beat Cruz Gutierrez. Or it's not Cruz Gutierrez, sorry. Christian Goulans. He loses to like Kyler Phillips, Umar Nurmagomedov. Cody Garbrandt. I'm picking Cody Garbrandt in this fight. Fuck it. I feel like Cody was landing with a nice meaty right hand like he did against Rafael Asensio. And I feel like he'll get that one done, but do not bet on that by any means of the imagination. So we'll go with Cody Garbrandt via second round TKO. Next up, we actually have a fucking banger fight here. I really like this fight. I actually really like this fight. I'm going to be picking Andre Petroski in this fight, okay? Edmund Shabazian just has been cutting it, okay? So I have his topology here. You lose like Gerald Mershaw, Anthony Hernandez, Nassim Imbrov, Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson. I remember that Edmund Shabazian versus Derek Brunson. I believe that was one that had the outrageously bad stoppage. But then again, like, man, you like, if you're going to be a top contender in this division, you need to be beating people like them. Like, you're picking up nice wins against like AJ Dobson, sorry. That's cool, but you need to be picking up way more. Andre Petroski has really surprised me since he got in the UFC, to be honest, because I watched him in the Ultimate Fighter and he lost. I think it was Brian Battle. I think this is many years ago. Yeah, Brian Battle via submission. I remember watching that. I was like, holy fuck, because I was picking Andre Petroski to win the whole thing. But he's gone on a really kind of rock solid run at the start. But he kind of fell off a little bit there when he beat Gerald Mershaw via split decision, lost to Michel Pereira, lost to Jacob Malcolm. But he's picked it back up. You know, he's beaten Josh Friend, he's beaten Rudolph Vieira, but he's picking up a lot of decision wins. Okay, Andre Petroski doesn't exactly have the best style. Like, he was picking up a lot of submission wins early on. This dude definitely has the submission threat. But I wouldn't be calling, you know, Andre Petroski a master on the ground, if I'm being honest with you. I just think he's good jiu-jitsu. I think he's got good speed on his hands. I think he's going to be able to get this one done. You know, Edmund Shabazian's quite stiff in his striking. He's pretty good, though, kind of like everywhere. I do rate Edmund Shabazian kind of a little bit everywhere. Well, I feel like Andre Petroski, I wouldn't even say has experience in this fight, because Edmund Shabazian does have loads of experience. He was on like a tender series fucking many years ago. Like, he's been in the UFC for fucking ages here, but he picks up a lot of wins with his hands. That's what I like about Edmund Shabazian. Like, if he's gonna win, I feel like it'll be a TKO, or kind of like he hurts Petroski enough throughout the fight to be able to pick up a decision win. I don't really know if I see him flatlining KO in Petroski, because I just feel like Petroski will go over there and take him down. Damn, man, Edmund Shabazian kind of fell off. He actually kind of did fall off, to be honest with you, but it's not like it's totally tragic for him in this fight, okay? I feel like he'll be able to get this one done, you know, if he can land the shots, but I just don't think so, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'll go with Andre Petroski via decision on that one. Next up, we have one of the GOATs of women's flyweight, one of the GOATs of the fucking sport, as you could say. You know, especially when she fought Carla Esparza. We have Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose. I'm the best! You lost to Ernst Blanchfield. Picked up a nice win against Tracy Cortez. Picked up a nice win against Amanda Rebos. But lost to people like Manuel Fiora in France. You lose to Carla Esparza via decision, which was one of the worst fights in UFC history. Maverick, I don't know. I feel like Rose is kind of a bit too elusive on the feet for Maverick, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like Rose will get this one done. It is quite an even fight, though. What are the kind of like moving forward here for both of these women if they win? Okay, Rose is the favorite, but I wouldn't be like completely sure she's gonna win. You know, she's so like kind of hot and cold at her performances. Okay, she's really just stop and start, and I feel like Rose kind of like finds it hard to break down some mental barriers. Okay, but you know, Maverick doesn't really have any notable wins. Andrea Lee, that's kind of it. I feel like Rose will get this one done. She's got way more experience in this fight. Okay, I wouldn't even say experience is like the main thing, because obviously Usman's got like the most amount of experience in fucking anyone on this card combined. But I feel like Rose's movement's going to be kind of hard for Maverick to be able to figure out, and I don't think she's going to be able to hold her down as well. Like, Rose had success with like Zhang Weili's takedowns and things like that, and Rose fucking chinned Zhang Weili as well. So I'm going with Rose Namajunas via decision on this one. I actually am a Rose fan. I hope she wins this fight. I think she's fucking, you know, she's solid. I just think she's a good personality as well, but just the Carla Esparza fight, like, that fight alone, I watched that card, and I remember I was like, boys, we have to watch this over Bivol versus Canelo that night. And the boys were like, no, we're not doing that. So we flicked back and forth, but it was so boring in the Rose fight. We just watched the whole of the Canelo fight, and then I rewatched the Esparza fight like a few times. I say a few times, I must have watched it twice. It was so fucking ass, man. It was so incredibly shit, but I'm going to go with Rose Namajunas via decision on that one, and I feel like she'll be able to get this one done. Maverick just has not fought the level of competition. She's got good grappling, though. I feel like Maverick, you know, she's definitely going to be shooting for takedowns, but Rose is going to be too elusive on the feet. Oh, baby! I have been waiting for this one for a fucking while. There it is. Sorry, I closed the wrong one. I did not expect them. Let me tell you something. I did not expect them to book this fight. Welterweight is one of those things where I just kind of don't know what's going to happen with the whole kind of division in itself. And we have all the contenders fighting each other now, which is so fucking good. I can't even describe it, okay? And we have JDM versus Makachev as well. We have Ian Gary, you know, step out, swing. I'm sorry, but that was the best impression I've ever heard of Guru. You have Ian Gary's in the mix. He wants to box the ears off Jack Daniel Medellin for questioning if he actually had a son. We have Shavkat versus Bilal, which is apparently made. I don't actually know if that's true. I don't think so. I can't see them doing that. I mean, because if Shavkat wins, he's definitely going to fight for the belt. But you're going to get leapfrogged. You might as well fight. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Then you have like Leon Edwards is kind of like moving about. I think Leon versus Ian makes sense. Leon versus Ian would be a great fight. And of course, we have the number one contender in himself, Sean Brady. So like Shavkat, Brady, and the winner of this fight, especially Buckley, is in those three are the prime contenders of the division. But there's kind of like one problem. There's three of them. And we know how UFC fighters are nowadays. They love to sit and wait for their title shot. But we have someone moving up as well. It's not like JDM is going to be fighting Sean Brady like in September. We know Makachev is fighting Jack Daniel Medellin next. That's going to be the fight to happen. That's going to put JDM out probably the rest of the year without fighting a welterweight contender. Maybe he might come back in December, but I highly doubt it. You know, sometimes they went to like Perth in like February, like 2.5 years ago for the Volk versus Makachev card. So maybe they have something to do. They can go back in February then. I don't know. You know how like London is always in March and shit like that. Maybe the UFC will do something like that. But I don't see this being a number one contender fight. I don't think beating Kamaru Usman in 2025, you deserve a title shot. He hasn't won a fight in what, like 3.5 years? Colby Covington the second fight? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't beaten a welterweight contender yet, Kamaru Usman. You know, since if we're being honest, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns was or Leon Edwards. Do you know what I mean? They were the two. Because they were the two kind of earned their title shot. You know, with the Masvidal and the Colby fights, you know what I mean? Colby kind of just sat out and waited after beating Masvidal. Masvidal sat out and waited after he took the fight on short notice, which is fair enough. Okay, I'm not knocking him for that. He did kind of deserve it. Not really when you beat Nate Diaz. But you did knock out Darren Till. You did knock out Ben Askren. And the kind of Nate Diaz was kind of like just to get the hype going for the big matchup, okay? But you can't expect a title shot beating Kamaru Usman, who's coming off 3 losses and hasn't won a fight in the division since 2021. End of 2021. Okay? I don't see how you can justify that at all. Usman's going to get chinned in this fight, I think. I think he'll get chinned. I think he's you ever see that video of Corey standing and like hitting him on the knees and he's just like screaming? Bro, Joaquin Buckley hits him with one leg kick and it's all over. It's all over, okay? And Buckley's on insane form. You know what I mean? Like, Usman's done so well for himself. You know what I mean? You lose to Leon Edwards, you lose to Khamzat Chimaev. When you lost to Khamzat Chimaev, I thought, okay, there's still some juice left in that gas. But you just didn't stay active. And now you're kind of fighting Buckley on relatively short notice. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see it. I don't see how you're going to walk in there and beat someone who's so athletic, on such good form, and has massive power in his hands, and has bulletproof takedown defense. We saw the level of takedown defense he had against Colby Covington. Yes, he got taken down, but he got up off all those takedowns, okay? And he beat the fucking shit out of him, okay? Usman doesn't have great head movement. He has good stand-up, 100%, and his boxing has gotten so much better since he first got the belt, let's say. Like, let's say from the Colby Covington second fight to the Tyron Woodley fight, his striking had come on leaps and bounds. Now, it wasn't exactly world-class. Like, he found the chin against Masvidal, he found the chin against Burns, but it wasn't exactly like Canelo. And I say Canelo because who remembers when Usman versus Canelo was actually being talked about? Like, isn't that fucking insane? But this was a bit of a shock to me that they actually made this fight, because I just didn't think Usman was coming back. I genuinely thought Usman just was not coming back. But fair play to him for stepping in there against someone so dangerous like Buckley. And for Buckley, I don't think this fight is going to have the reward that he thinks. If he's going to walk in there and expect a title shot off beating Kamaru Usman, I think you're just like, you have another thing coming. You have another thing coming. And I don't see Buckley really, you know, going through like a Shavkat either, though. That's the thing. I don't think Buckley would beat Shavkat. I don't think he'd beat JDM. I don't think he'd beat Makhachev. I think he'd have a hard time against Leon Edwards. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Buckley, this is a good step for him, because if you can't beat the old, you're not going to beat the new. You know, that kind of a way. But I do think Buckley's going to get this one done. I think he has insane power in his hands. I think he's got great takedown defense. I think his ability to take down Usman is not going to be there now. I don't think this is going to be a wrestling match for Buckley. Or I sure fucking hope he doesn't even try and wrestle, because Usman is definitely the better wrestler. Usman's an insane wrestler. Prime Kamaru Usman is one of my favorite champions ever. Ever. The dude was so active. The dude entertained. I always say I miss Prime Usman. Prime Usman was special. Prime Usman was fucking special, man. I always appreciated watching him live. I remember when he slapped Masvidal. That was like one of the greatest moments I've had as a UFC fan, to hear Anik say, "Still undisputed." I still hear it to this day. To this day. And it's gonna be sad to see him get chinned by Joaquin Buckley, because I am a Kamaru Usman fan. I have been for many years. I've always watched Usman's fights. I think he's so entertaining in the cage. He kind of like became way more entertaining as the years kind of went on. Like, he wasn't always like that, but I am going to go with Joaquin Buckley via second round TKO. I just think I can't bet on Usman's chin, or I just can't bet on Usman I haven't seen in a year and a half coming off 3 losses. I can't. I'm going to bet on what I know, which is Buckley has hands, Buckley's on form, great takedown defense, and he's going to get this one fucking done. Like, subscribe, share, all that good shit, and see you on the next one.